that it sounds like you all got. Unless you got your email address, we have to figure the email addresses out. So you guys up here, it says Math 105, dude, in week 5. Sorry, I don't proofread emails all the time when I'm in a hurry. So dude, in week 5. They're not due till next Monday. Next Monday. Math 105, I also sent you an email with a link to a shared spreadsheet that you'll be posting to. I'll figure that out. I don't know why I didn't get to you. I'll figure out why and I'll repost it. I'll figure out a way to get it to you. But I want to show you the outer class exam so you understand all the little components of it. Okay, so I'm going to shoot over. I'm going to open this up if it's okay.
For some reason, I believe you know what you're doing.
Say that again?
For some reason, I believe you know what you're doing.
Well, yeah. I just want to make sure. I appreciate you saving the day with this today. This is great. So.
By the way, she didn't tell you the battery's almost dead. No, I'm just kidding.
You're a liar, so I can see it right here. So just go to the schedule page like we always do. Schedule page like we always do. I'm going to scroll down, and you'll see here in week 4. What the hell is week 4 link? Boom. So here's the week 4 link. So on Wednesday it says exam 1 in-class portion over estimation and grade. Those are the only 2 sections. We're going to be doing some stuff today that's not estimation and not grade. But that won't be on the exam Wednesday. That'll be on the next exam, which will be week 7. Okay? So just and then it says there's a quiz due as well. I think I threw a grade quiz up for Wednesday, just for practice. It's averaging my grade over my commute to work. So that's Wednesday, and then Monday, like I said, like normal, I'll fill in what's due Monday. So that's that. But if you go to week 5 next week, you'll see the exam 1 outer class. This is the other half of the exam. So I told you guys a couple terms ago, I started going half in, half out of class. The outer class, you can pretty much work with anybody you want to. So if you click on that, it's going to pop open a document for you. It's a PDF document. It should just open automatically. Yep, here we go. And it is, in this, the very first part asks questions about grades on a dynamic triangle spreadsheet. So you see up there it says the following questions for number 1, so A, B, C, and D there. Use the Excel spreadsheet triangle that's posted alongside this exam. So you may not have noticed that. Maybe you did. Oops. Right here it says you also need this spreadsheet. I'm going to click on that. You have Excel on this bad boy, Di?
I don't know.
Let's find out. Yep, sounds like you do. So you guys all do too. Through your school login, when you log in any computer on campus, Excel is on there. This needs to be shrunken down so you can see what the hell it is. It's a little bit big right now. What this is a triangle over there.
When you go to print it though, you have to move.
I wouldn't print this.
Really?
Yeah, because the whole point of this isn't to print the spreadsheet, it's to use the spreadsheet to answer the questions.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you don't have to print this. This is just designed for you to be dynamic. So here's the deal. This is a road-ish. This is a road. Pretend it's a road, if you could. I couldn't put a car on it because I didn't know how to do that in Excel. So here's your rise, and here's your run of the road. Your job is to use these arrows, mess with the road. So check it out. As you click, it's a scroll bar. As you click on these, the triangle changes. And as the triangle changes, you'll also notice everything on the left side changes too. Right now you've got a 123% grade. That means the rise over the run is 1.23. Grade is rise over run, 1.23 to 1. There's your grade at that point. The angle formed over there at A is a 51-degree angle. 51-degree angle, okay? The sign, which we spent a lot of time talking about on Wednesday, that's the wrong way to measure grade. That's when you cheat a little bit and you use the rise, but you also use the hypotenuse instead of the run. Remember that? We had spent a lot of time talking about that. That's what that guy is right there. Notice there's a big difference between the sine and the tangent. I asked you to kind of explore that in the out-of-class exam. And then over there, the last box is the percent error. That's doing it the wrong way compared to doing it the right way. So you're off by almost 40% by doing it the wrong way. That's kind of unacceptable. But part of it is you're going, yeah. Part of this exam is to explore when you're off by no more than a certain amount. And that's what the questions A through D are on that number 1. So you don't have to print this spreadsheet. You just have to use the spreadsheet to answer the questions. Does that make sense? And in case you've forgotten everything I just said, well, you have the video, I guess. But I also, there's a link right here. Let's open the out of class portion again. There's a video link right at the top. I made this, I think, on Thursday or Friday. I forget when I made it. But it basically is just me kind of talking you through the spreadsheet, clicking on the buttons, making the triangles move. So you click on this bad boy right here. Fingers crossed. It should pop. Yeah, there you go. How to use a triangle spreadsheet. And it's 5 minutes long. I apologize. It shouldn't have been that long. I was shooting for 3, but then I'm Italian, so I start talking. So there you go. Cool. And thankfully, Di has her volume turned down, so you can't hear me right now. Good. That's question number 1. Fairly straightforward. Well, you can kind of hear me. Oh, I didn't plug the audio in. So, rest of the exam, 2 other parts. The first part is, the triangle and the method of it. So I asked you this question in class on Wednesday, and we answered it together, and then we probably forgot it. The very first point, that 2 points there for which angle is the grade closest to 100%. You answered that question in class on Wednesday. Whether or not you remember it is totally fine. This spreadsheet will help you re-answer it. So you guys all gave a very, very common answer to that when I asked, what grade is 100%? And you all gave the very, very popular wrong answer. And then I said, and you said, and I said, I'm not sure if we said I'm not sure if we actually use those phrases. But we eventually decided on what the correct answer was. And if you forgot it, that's okay. That's what the spreadsheet will go back and help you explore. So it's clicking and it's exploring and it's kind of seeing what happens. What I'm doing with that is essentially taking all the mathematics away from you. I mean, we could do this by hand, but it would require you to do grade calculations over and over and over and over again, which is a little bit ridiculous. That way you can keep it dynamic and let the computer keep track of it for you. And if anybody's interested in how that spreadsheet works, I highly encourage you to, if you've used Excel before, simply highlight all of the entire spreadsheet. There's a bunch of white formatted text hidden behind graphs and things. That's where all the calculations are happening. You can also click within the cells to see what's going on. It's pretty cool, actually. It's pretty slick how to set these things up to make them dynamic. If you're interested, you don't have to be. You can also say I don't care and just use it. Good? Yes? Ish. Good. Maybe. Okay. So that's question 1. Question 2. There's the elevation profile from my Mackenzie Pass ride a couple weeks ago. You're going to be using that to figure out things like my grades at certain parts. You're going to figure out where the ride was the steepest and how steep it was from a grade point of view. Okay? And that's the questions that are down here. This is very similar to the ones we did when you asked about the hill repeats. Very, very similar to that. I figured we'd just keep that theme going, but just change the elevation graphic. Cool? Yeah, I have one for Pilot Butte too. It looked exactly the same as the Aubrey Butte, but I'm like, that's kind of boring. I've already kind of attacked that and drilled it. Please, Lynn.
I know you probably told us, when we do the exam in class, are we able to use our notes from our homework or no?
Whatever you need formula-wise, I'll put them on the board for you.
Okay.
Yeah, and you guys think about that. Think about what you might want to see on the board as far as formulas. I'll put the grade formula up there. I'll put the sine formula up there, the wrong grade, right? So grade is rise over run. Sine is rise over hypotenuse. I'll put them both up there for you. Put percent error up there for you. I put Pythagoras on the exam for you, but I'll put it up there for you if you want it to. You won't need any of that stuff. Yeah, any formula you need. Do not memorize anything. Any formula you find yourself using, just tell me and I'll put them on board. TI steps, whatever you want. Cool? Is that fair? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. And last but not least is the estimation. Okay. So here you go. 3 estimation problems. The third of which is the one that you're going to have to use the spreadsheet for that I emailed to you for some reason none of you got. So I'll figure out what the hell's going on with that and I'll make it work so you all have spreadsheet access. I'll also show you that momentarily if you don't mind if I log out of my Gmail account real quick to do that. The first 2 are pretty traditional estimation problems. How many stairs on COCC's Bend campus? How many trees on COCC's Bend campus? Okay? For both of those, good. Bill Chuckles, good. For both of those, I would recommend Googling maps in COCC in their website. I'll show you.
What do you mean by to the nearest 20 steps?
So if you estimate 38, call it 40.
Oh, gotcha.
If you estimate 101, call it 100. So just round it off by. I was trying to think of the most logical thing to round to, And I've actually run all these steps, and I don't think running to the nearest 100 is close enough. Like, if you run to the nearest 100, you could be off significantly. But running to the nearest step is also kind of dumb. So I'm like, 20, why not? So your answer would be like 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, something like that. Something along those lines. And again, the answer is nowhere near as important as what? How you got the process by which, that's what I care about. I want to see how you processed. I did give you a hint on this one though. One thing you might want to do is get into the COCC website. This little search box up here, the little search box on the COCC site, just type in maps. And the first link, I think, here we go, is campus and area maps. And I did the Bend campus. I didn't say COCC's campi, because that's kind of silly. I mean, yeah, it doesn't different campuses. So go with just the Bend campus map. This will be a good starting point for you. It's, what the hell is Twinwee? Nope, let's try it. Twinwee. On the COCC computer, this will pop. Whoa, hello. Wow, holy, what the hell's going on? That's beautiful. I like it better than Adobe. On COCC's campus, if you do this and click that, it'll pop open in Adobe pretty quickly. Not quite as impressively as that, but nonetheless, you get the map for you there. So what you're looking at is here's your campus. This will help you both with the stairs and also with the trees. Please dive.
One step from the back of Pink's building to College Way, there are 100 steps.
Way to go, die.
So go from there. It's a hint, it's a hint.
That's not a hint. It's a partial answer. I want to mess it.
But there are many, many other ways up.
It's true. But I want to know how many steps are on the campus.
I know.
I'll just give you a hint too. Not that this changes an estimation at all. There are, I believe, 7 hidden up by Junior Hall. And just so you know, I believe there are also 7 hidden down by the culinary building.
Are we going below College Way as well?
Well, what's below College Way?
Well, all the
Oh yeah, that's the campus. Just do exterior steps. I'm going to change the wording on it. Don't worry about the ones in the. I think we mentioned this in class. Don't worry about the ones in the buildings. Just the ones on the outside of the buildings. And I don't think I have that typed. I'll make sure I change that. Exterior steps. Cool. There you go. Boom, 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 boom. So this map, I think, will help you do both the trees and the steps. I'm curious to see what you guys see, because I know I don't remember anymore how many steps there are, but I will go figure it out this week at some point, so I can see where your estimates are with the actual number and see how close you guys get. And we'll do some statistics on that, which will be fun.
I don't get how you think this is going to help, just because I don't know the Bend campus very well.
Well, these are pathways. If you look down here, sidewalks, and somewhere in here, I think it says pathways. But all these guys here have little steps on them. So make assumptions based on that.
Oh, okay.
Assume there's a certain percentage of steps on each pathway shown.
Okay, and what about trees? How do you figure?
Well,
Satellite view.
I'm curious
Do a
to
satellite,
to see how that's. I can't really tell you a whole lot because I'm curious to see how you tackle that problem. You know there are trees here.
Well,
Chances are they're not growing out of the roofs of those buildings.
Well, that's what those things
So-
are outside.
That's what the big green things are, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the point, is that I'm trying to push you out of your comfort zone with questions like this to make you think about something you don't know the answer to. Nobody knows the answer to that question. And, you know, be fair to yourselves. Don't count the little tiny 2-inch tall sapling as a tree. Like, don't kill yourself knowing there are little tiny aspen trees all over campus that have sprouted off of roots. Don't worry about those.
You might as well just count the grass too.
Count the, you can work on that thing. Let me know how you do it. Cool? When you're done, I got a head full of hair you can count.
All right.
Cool?
Yes.
That's a good question for next year. How many hairs on a human head? Oh,
that.
God. Uh-oh. That's a really, really good question. You guys,
When I shut down,
Is the computer?
the time's out.
okay, well, we're back. Oh, no, I just did. Oh, here we go. Should I escape out of this?
Probably.
All right, Di, how do I get the hell out of this thing?
Close it.
Okay, how do I do that?
Close it.
No, how do I get out of this page back to where I was?
So from the top of the screen to the bottom, or there is back.
Oh, I just saw
You can't-
something.
yeah.
Beautiful.
top.
Top?
From center top.
Oh, we
straight
get a
down.
bar?
Right
Up.
there. Click that.
Oh, that was fancy. Left click.
Right. I didn't realize right there.
That's slick and potentially confusing. Why don't they just make it like everybody else?
Got a little window.
Conform! Okay, so that's your map link. That'll help you with that. And the last question I want to talk to you about is down here. That's the estimate program. How long, or not how long, how many cards you have to buy on average if you were buying them randomly to collect the entire 1977 set. If you click on this, it'll take you out to the actual full set. I think. Yes, it's working. This is the entire 1977 set, Star Wars First Series, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. If you can purchase them up here if you want to, for $215. Here's the set. How long, if you were buying them randomly, would it take you to collect the entire set? And it's prohibitive to do that by yourself, which is why I set up the exam the way I did, where each of you runs the estimate program 5 times. You get a certain number. This is just like we did with the dice and the coins in class. And the same thing you did with Max and the Lego people. It's that problem too. It's essentially more like that problem actually. So you do it a number of times, and then we collate all of our answers together, and then average all of our answers. And then once we average all those answers, we get a fairly, relatively robust estimate of what it actually is. But I don't want you guys doing it 200 times, because like I said, each time I did it, it took about a minute. And I'm assuming you'll get similar results for yours. Some of you might be quicker, some of you might be longer, but it's going to average out to a minute. So I created a spreadsheet, which I then emailed to you, which hasn't gotten to you yet, that you'll post to. So let me show that to you real quick, so you can see what it looks like. Now, I can't thank you enough. This is a lifesaver.
How many cards are in the set?
Follow the link to find out.
Like in, collectible target of modern day.
Did this work? Oh, can I link out? Can I go out of yours?
Yeah.
Is that cool, Di? Thank you. So let's do this. And here's the address to be expecting an email from. It's a weird one. It's Quail XHA at gmail.com. I have to use this email because I'm logged in at, it's Quail Crossing Homeowners Association. I'm on the board of directors of my neighborhood homeowners association because I'm trying to kill it. Because I hate homeowners associations because it's dumb. But anyway, I'm logged in, and for some reason my YouTube account is tied to that email address. I don't know how the hell that happened. So the YouTubes that I upload to are tied to that email address. I don't know why. And I can't change it. So since I'm logged in, I gotta use this one. So whatever. Just, it won't be from Sean Rule, which would make the most sense. I just can't do that. So, stay signed in because you don't need to see my crap. Don't bother with the password.
Oh, come on, save it.
You can if you want to. I mean, you're going to see there's nothing in here that's worth looking at. It's all just automated emails from the YouTube. It's under Drive. See, it says Sean, but it won't show my name as Sean when I get the email to you guys. And there should be one thing in there, because I've never done anything Drive except for this. Star Wars cards, shared, liar. It's not shared, just son of a... So there'll be a spreadsheet, just like Excel, well, just like Excel, except it's free. There. So what you've got is you put your name in column A, and you put your estimates in column B, next to your name. And then over there in E, the 267.4, that's the average of all the values in column B. So suppose, for example, Asani goes and does his a few times. Make sure you put your name there so I give you your points. That's why I want your name. And let's say Asani, it takes him 100 on the first trial, and then, I don't know, 470 on the second trial, and then 99 on the third. Do you see what's happening to the average over there, friends? It's changing based on the data that's coming in from Asani. Does that make sense? And that will happen with all of your results. So by the time all of you post to this, we'll have this nice, really cool average. We'll be able to test it against the true value, which we can calculate mathematically, which we'll do in class together on Wednesday. Fair enough?
Yes.
And then we'll have a nice estimate, and yay. But so, I don't think you have to save. I think it automatically saves. I'm pretty sure. Let's just check.
All changes saved in Drive.
Good, it says it somewhere, doesn't it? Yep, there, all changes saved in Drive. So you don't have to actually hit save. Google already automatically updates as you're saving. The only thing that might get goofy, and I don't think this is going to be a problem, is if two people are on at the exact same time, you might end up fighting with each other. So just make sure when you type your 5 in, that your 5 show, and you can tell if somebody else is on because you'll see a different color popping around and moving, kind of freaking you out probably because there's like symbols appearing. But if that happens, just one of you kind of decide who's going first and go from there. Have any of you guys ever used a wiki like this before? Anybody?
Yeah.
A couple of you? Couple? Few. Sounds like a few. That's good. If you haven't, welcome. It's fun. Sorry, son. Don't take your expense away. Sorry. There you go. No. It's how I play. It's how I play. Okay, I'll figure out why that didn't get emailed to you guys and make sure it does. I want to use the emails I already have from you guys from your COCC email accounts. Fair enough? Good. All right. I apologize that it took so long. I don't know why. I'm going to check the computer now. And we'll take our 5, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about your in-class exam, which is Wednesday. You get a little bit more of a breakdown about that. But let's take 5 now, and I'll see if mine launched, and then we'll come back and chit-chat some more.